Hey gang, welcome back to another Viewers Projects video. This video is number 15 in the series, and if you haven't seen the rest, please go back, check them out, look at the playlist, and have a look at all the other cars that have been submitted. This video is shared by Billy. Billy is in the military, and he is building a 68 California Special. Now he has done tons and tons and tons of work to this car, and he has a really interesting story about this car, and to me it touches my heart for what he is sharing about this car and this video. So pay attention and have a look at Billy's 68 California Special.
Hey Barry, it took me a while to do this. I'm going totally low tech. I just grabbed my little computer and no webcam or anything. I'm just decided to go ahead and film the video. So for everybody who is watching, I'm Billy. This is my 68 GT California Special Mustang. It's got an interesting story, and I just thought I'd share it a little bit. So I'm an Army officer. That's what I do for a living. I've been in the Army for a long time. I love Mustangs. Loved Mustangs my whole life. I've had, 8, 9, 10 of them. So back in the 80s, I was a private. I was on active duty down at like Hunt Army Airfield. There was a California Special that was out in a pawn shop. I tried to buy the car right from the pawn owner, and he said no. So, but I never stopped wanting to get a California Special. So, flash forward. I'll just change my view here for a second. Flash forward. I had this one. This is a 66 convertible. And I was working on that and looking through Craigslist, looking for parts just like everybody else. And I saw the rear tail pan for a California Special, and it was an ad for the car. So, of course, I called, and the car was a basket case. Barry could insert a picture of the beginning of this car, which was heading fastly to the crusher. So I went up with my buddy and we took a look at the car, and it was in fact a complete basket case. It was in a barn, not on any running gear, sitting on a moving dolly with no doors, no body panel. The only thing it was just the shell and but they told me they had all the parts. So I was skeptical, but I knew I'd probably buy the car anyway. And the thing that sealed the deal for me was a story. So this car was purchased new. It was one of 3 that was purchased in Hawaii in August of 1968. And it was bought by a young infantryman who purchased it out there and then shipped it back to California. And he must have driven it around for maybe a month and then deployed to Vietnam. He was killed in action in the spring of '69, and his wife took the car and drove all over the country. She drove around, 60,000 miles. So crisscrossed the country, did some hard miles because there was some damage to the car. Ultimately, it was a heater delete car, but when she started to drive, she must have gone to a dealer and installed a heater. So it was a dealer installed heater options. She drove the car, crisscrossed the country, and sometime in 1970 to late 70, early 71, she parked the car in her dad's barn in Maine. I suspect that she had an electrical short because as I took the under dash wiring harness out of it, I found evidence of a bad short that probably caused some smoke under the dash and scared her, and she parked it beat up. The hood was all beat in. She had probably jackknifed the trailer on her U-Haul because it had smashed the bumper and hit the valance and really crushed that whole side, and also sideswiped something on the passenger side, and had an old 1969 repair, bang it out and Bondo it over. She let it sit there, and it sat in that barn for 35, 36 years. It was bought in, I think, 2004 by a guy who disassembled the car. It had rotted from the bottom up. So floors were gone, frame rails were gone, transition pan was gone, the rockers were still good, bottom of the fenders were done, quarters were done, wheel wells were done, the trunk was done, the whole thing. So he took it apart, put it in a million pieces, and I have a whole bunch of pictures that I'll give to illustrate that point. But put all of those parts in all those boxes and wanted to convert it to an R code. I found a receipt for a 428 that he purchased for the car, and yeah, obviously he didn't put it in, but so I had a mix of big block parts in there too. But I bought the car in order to pay tribute to the original owner and to restore it to its original state. So it was a candy apple red car with red interior, dark red interior. I think it was like one of 26 that was built like that as for a California special. And I just started on my way. I replaced everything. So, and I'll show you my latest problem. So hold on. So that's always the money shot of the California specials. I love the rear end on that car and the Thunderbird taillights. So I just put the glass in. I just put the rear window in actually today, and I'm just kind of taping up to make sure that all the trim still lines up and everything. Quarters were done, inner and outer wheel wells. Note to self, if you're ever doing both inner and outer wheel wells, do the ones that are all one piece, because it makes it a ton easier. I put the headliner in, just letting the carpet kind of rest in there for now. I have a 289 in it. It's a 289 car, power steering, power brake, AC, and I'm just starting to put it together. But my latest problem, let me show you. Latest problem is this. This is a 67 door shell. That is a 68 door shell. How do you know? Well, these bolts, there should be a bolt hole right here. And that's for the armrest. And I was just kind of looking at all the parts, and just messing around, right? But so I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. So it is the original radiator. I did not a pressure test, but a water test to see if it would all go back together, and it did, and it held water and everything. I need to change the pulley on that to a 2 pulley. That's a 289 out of a 66 Mustang, and I'm just using that while I rebuild the original motor. I do have the original block, so updated all the brakes, did all that stuff. Bent new lines. It's all new wiring harnesses all the way around. So that's the original block. It's a 302 block. Hello. But that's the original intake. It was a C code. I have the original heads back there. you know, it's I'm going to build that motor out, and I want to take my time. So I got a spare motor just to put it in. And oh, by the way, this is my version of Brooklyn Pony, because I did pretty much everything that Barry did to that car. I still need to get a new windshield, and I'm changing the interior to black. But you know, love that car. After watching Brooklyn Pony, I want to strip it down back to bare metal and redo everything. So I do this. I did this video basically. I don't know. I watched a lot of. Obviously, I've watched a lot of Barry's videos, and they gave me a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation to go get my stuff done. And you know, I'm just a regular guy. You know, I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm just a infantry officer. So, you know, if I can do it, you know, anybody can do it. And with just some basic hand tools, and thank God for Harbor Freight. But you know, I just I think it's the love of Mustangs, and I don't do concourse stuff. And I know a lot of people be super critical of you know, I painted the car. I did everything. Did all the body work. It's not perfect, but you know, it's I have a love of that car, and really have the strong desire to do all that stuff myself. So I just figured, if my story, and I really like the story of that car, just the resurrection of that car, and inspires anybody, then you know, just paying it forward, right? So the last little thing I'll do to that thing is I'm gonna put a KIA bracelet inside the glove box in memory of the dude, and out of respect for his family and stuff, I don't want to mention his name or anything like that, but I fully intend on still paying tribute to him via this car. So hey man, thanks for watching, and you know, I can't thank Barry enough for the videos that Joe Daddy's Garage has done over the last couple of years with Jade and Brooklyn Pony and some of the other cars that he's done. It's just amazing. And you know, thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it.
You see what I'm talking about? It's awesome. It's awesome for many reasons. One, it belonged to a serviceman who unfortunately lost his life in Vietnam. It had been driven around, it had been abused, it had been set aside. And Billy always had a dream of having a California Special. And this merge, this timeline crosses over, and he is able to get a hold of one of these cars that has a valuable history, because him being in the military, he knows what it's like. I was in the military, so I can appreciate even more what he's doing and his reasons behind it. So, hats off to you, Billy. And I appreciate what you're doing. I've been really impressed by how much you've done to this car to bring it back to life. If you haven't seen, or if you want to see more pictures of this car, and if you're on Facebook, he has put a lot of pictures on Mustang Restoration How To. And there's a ton of pictures on there. And, you know, I tried to share as many pictures as I could in this process. You know, I've collected pictures for this, and I'm just amazed. You know, fantastic job. And thank you, Billy. Thank you for your service. Thank you for rebuilding this car and continuing its legacy. Now, with that said, if you're interested in having your car on this channel as a viewer's project, by all means, send me an email, and we'll go back and forth on that and see what we can do to get something put together. I know I've been behind on my videos. I've been behind on these viewer project videos, and there's a lot going on right now. If you haven't been watching my live streams, I'm trying to work out something to where I could possibly retire from my regular job and do this full time. But there's a lot going on and a lot to think about. So please forgive me for not being, you know, on the ball with getting videos out as often as I was. but I am working on projects. I have another video that'll be coming out very soon, and you know, we can all learn from that video when it comes out. But anyway, just letting you know what's going on. And I still have to do I'm going to do a giveaway video for having 40,000 subscribers. That'll come up very soon as well. So there's just a lot going on right now, and it's all positive in my mind. But I want to thank all of you who have subscribed to this channel, all of you who have helped grow the channel, leaving comments, you know, giving thumbs up, you know, all those things that help the channel grow. I want to thank you for that. So, but that's going to be it for this video. And until next time, take care of yourselves.